Never Death Row Production. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson, the next heavyweight champion of the world. Everybody else for.
Alrighty guys, what's going on? Welcome on back. It's the Empire. I'm your host Risky. Happy Friday to all. It is May 22nd. Looking back at yesterday, not a good day. It was, for some reason, Thursdays this season, Thursdays and Sundays have been our least profitable days of the week. To start off this season, I'm trying to change that trend, but for some reason it's been continuing. Yesterday was another dud, but you guys already know the rules. It's on to the next one. We got a full slate of baseball here back on tap today. I got this video coming out to you late, got stuck at the job last night. We're gonna run through these picks, get to the bets at the end. Guys, Outlier Sportsbook, the link is down in the description. Sign up with them. The first week is free. Also, at the end of the video, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. With all of that being said, let's jump into it. Alright, getting to the first game here, 2 o'clock start. We got the Astros in Chicago taking on the Cubs. Arrieta on the mount for the Astros, Talion on the mount for the Cubs. Alright, we got Arrieta on the mount for the Astros, off to an amazing start this year. He's made 8 starts, has a 150 ERA. In his last 10 outings, he has not given up more than 2 runs. His last game against the Texas Rangers, pitched 7 shutout innings, took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. Today, he's going to be seeing a Chicago Cubs lineup with 6 left-handed bats. Arrieta does struggle versus lefties dating back to last season. I can see this Cubs lineup getting to Arrieta here today. Arrieta going about 5 innings, if not 6, giving up 2 runs, turning it over to Astros bullpen. Still the worst in the majors. I'm expecting them to come and give up 2 or 3 themselves. On the other side, we got Talion on the mount for the Cubs. Still a very inconsistent, streaky pitcher, guy that pitches for a lot of contact, a lot of pop fly outs. ERA right now at 4.97. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he's a guy that has terrible splits versus lefties. The fortunate thing for him, this Astros lineup's only going to feature 2 left-handed bats. All he needs to really do is full. As a matter of fact, had the weather not been so bad in this game here today, I would have said Jordan Alvarez is a lock to go yard off Italian, because Jordan matches up very well against Jameson Talion. But it's going to be pitcher-friendly weather out there in Chicago. I could see Talion, who, like I said, pitches for a lot of contact, a lot of pop fly outs. The wind blowing in today is going to help him. I can see Talion going about 5 innings, giving up a run, turning it over to a Cubs bullpen that continues to play very well. I see them coming in, shutting the door on this Astros lineup. Looking at the weather, 60 degrees at start, 18-mile-per-hour winds to 15-mile-per-hour winds blown from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Cubs are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 7. I like the over 7 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Ian Happ of the Cubs for 2 total bases. Next up, we got the Guardians in Philadelphia taking on the Phillies. Gavin Williams on the mount for the Guardians. The left-handed pitcher Christopher Sanchez on the mount for the Phillies. Gavin Williams on the mount here for the Guardians. Started off the season looking very good. His last 3 outings, 18 innings pitched, 12 runs given up. He's been struggling of late. This is a fastball pitcher, mixes in that slider. He's going to be seeing a Phillies lineup that matches up very well against him. For one, the Phillies are batting .242 versus right-handed pitching, slugging .390. Those numbers have been going up in the last week. They've been crushing right-handed pitching in the last 8 games played versus righties. This Phillies team's batting .260 as a unit, slugging up to .410. So they've been coming around offensively of late. Gavin Williams struggles versus left-handed bats. We know the lefties he's going to see in this Phillies lineup here today. I can see Gavin Williams going about 6 innings, giving up 3 runs, turning it over to a Guardians bullpen that continues to play very well. I can see them coming in, giving up a run possibly, but nothing too crazy, keeping the game close. On the other side, we got the left-handed pitcher Christopher Sanchez, off to an amazing start this season. His last 3 outings, 24 innings pitched, no runs given up. He's looked back to that Cy Young level we saw him pitching at last season, I should say. This Cleveland Guardians team, one of the best in the majors versus left-handed pitching. The oxymoron about it all is that Christopher Sanchez is a left-handed pitcher that pitches very good against left-handed bats. This Guardians lineup is just left-handed bats. It's 8 lefties he's going to be seeing here today. I can see Christopher Sanchez coming out, working the sinker against all the lefties, having a good outing, going about 6-7 innings scoreless, if not a run given up, turning it over to a Phillies bullpen that continues to play very well this season. I see them coming in, shutting the door on this Guardians lineup. Looking at the weather here today, 60 degrees at start. We're going to have wind blowing out to left field, but more towards foul territory. Let's get to the picks. The Phillies are the betting odd favorites in this game, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 6.5. I really like the over 6.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the St. Louis Cardinals in Cincinnati taking on the Reds. Leahy on the mount for the Cardinals, Paddock on the mount for the Reds. Alright, we got Leahy here on the mount for the Cardinals. Started off the season looking rough, but then his last 3 starts, he saw Milwaukee 3 starts ago, pitched 5 innings, gave up a run. 2 starts ago, saw the Padres 6 scoreless innings. Then his last start last week against the Royals, pitched into the 5th inning, only gave up a run. Looking at the matchup here today for Leahy, he's going to be seeing the Cincinnati Reds team that's mediocre versus right-handed pitching. They're only batting .230 on the year, slugging .390. Leahy's a fastball slider pitcher, mixes in that curveball and that changeup. I can see Leahy going about 6 innings here today, giving up a run or 2, turning it over to the St. Louis Cardinals bullpen. That's tax coming into it. I don't like the arms available for the Cardinals late in this game. I can see the bullpen arms coming in, giving up some runs. On the other side, we got Chris Paddock making his 2nd start here for the Reds. Got cut by the Marlins earlier this season. His last outing, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, one of his better starts on the year. Still comes into it with a 7 ERA. When he was with the Marlins, he saw the St. Louis Cardinals lineup at the end of April, pitched 4 innings in that game, gave up 5 runs. Chris Paddock's hard hit rate is still over 50%. I do not like that for him here today, seeing a Cardinals lineup that's been squashing the ball all season. In their last 8 games played, the St. Louis Cardinals are batting .252 as a unit, slugging .408. I see Paddock giving up a few home runs in this game, a bunch of runs overall, turning it over to Cincinnati Reds bullpen. Still one of the worst in the majors. I see them coming in, giving up a bunch of runs. Looking at the weather here today, we're going to have hitter-friendly weather out there in Great American. We're going to have slight wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond, but it's going to be a warm day. I'm expecting runs in this one. Let's get to the picks. Alright, the Cincinnati Reds are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like the road dogs in this spot. Give me the St. Louis Cardinals on the money line. The game total set at 9.5. I like the over 9.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Jordan Walker of the Cardinals to hit a home run today. Up next, we got the Tampa Bay Rays in New York taking on the Yankees. We got Nick Martinez on the mount for the Rays. We got Garrett Cole on the mount for the Yankees. Alright, getting into this one here, Nick Martinez, 8 starts this year, ERA still at 150, that sinker, the ground ball rate's at 45%, he's been absolutely dominant this year. Still, I'm expecting regression, he still has an expected ERA just over 3, we're expecting him to fall off a cliff eventually. Like I said, it's been the sinker this season, the sinker's movement has been filthy. I can see him coming out here today, having a decent outing against the Yankees. The one thing I worry about for him, for one, it's in a smaller ballpark in Yankee Stadium. It's going to be hitter-friendly weather. He's going to see 6 left-handed bats. There is the possibility Nick Martinez gets lit up in this game, has the worst start of the season for himself. I'm expecting him to go about 5-6 innings, give up 3 runs here today, turn it over to a Tampa Bay Rays bullpen that continues to play very good this season. I'm expecting them to come in, shut the door on this Yankees lineup. On the other side, we got Garrett Cole making his season debut here for the Yankees. Looking at his numbers down in the minors, the most important thing, the fastball, still hitting 100 miles per hour. I don't like the fact that he was giving up a bunch of runs in his starts. That's worrisome. The walks numbers were low, but overall, when the guy's down in the minors, AAA, he doesn't have the best fielding behind him, so you always see runs given up. So I'm not going to knock him on that. The 2 main things, the fastball was topping out at 100, command looked good. I can see Garrett Cole coming out here today, having a decent outing against this Tampa Bay Rays team that's a good hitting team versus right-handed pitching. Granted, they're not a team that really hits for power versus righties. They're only slugging .380. I can see Garrett Cole going about 5 innings, giving up 2 runs, turning it over to a Yankees bullpen that is terrible coming into this one. They're completely taxed. I expect them to come in and give up a bunch of runs in this game here today. Looking at the weather, we're going to have pitcher-friendly weather overall. It's going to be about 55, 60 degrees at start. Strong gust of wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Yankees are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like them on the money line. The game total set at 7.5. I like the under 7.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Aaron Judge of the Yankees to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Mets in Miami taking on the Marlins. Tobias Myers on the mound for the Mets. We got Yuri Perez on the mound for the Marlins. Alright, getting straight into this one here. It's going to be sort of a bullpen day for the Mets. We got Tobias Myers opening up the game. I'm expecting Manaea to come in after that, be the long relief man, take over a bunch of the innings in this one. Looking at the matchup for the Mets pitching that's going to be involved in this one, the pitching that I'm pretty much confirmed we'll see, I don't like the spot for them. They're going to be seeing a very solid contact hitting team here today in the Miami Marlins. The Marlins this season's batting .250 versus right-handed pitching. Granted, the slugging numbers are down, but a very good hitting, solid contact hitting team. I can see this Marlins lineup getting about 3-4 runs off of this Mets pitching rotation here today. On the other side, we got Yuri Perez on the mound for Miami. He's looked terrible in his last few outings. Since the month of May has begun, really, the wheels have fallen off the bus for him. He's a two-pitch pitcher. It's the fastball and the slider. The fastball 50+% of the time. Every once in a while, he's trying to mix in the slider. The slider's movement has been absolutely terrible. Batters these last few games are just sitting back, waiting on the fastball, trying to time it. And the hard hit rate is now up to 49% for Yuri Perez. I like the Miami Marlins bullpen. They're one of the best bullpens in the majors. I see them when Perez gets taken out of this game, coming in, shutting the door on this Mets lineup. Looking at well, it's down in Miami, so it's in the dome. They're going to have the roof open, but it's not really going to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The Marlins are the betting on favorites in this game here today, and we're playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8. I like the over 8 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Liam Hicks of the Marlins for 2 total bases. Next up, we got the Minnesota Twins in Boston taking on the Red Sox. 2 left-handed starting pitchers in this one. We got Prelip on the mound for the Twins, Tolley on the mound for the Red Sox. Alright, getting into this one here, we got 2 good young left-handed starting pitchers in this game. Prelip on the mound for the Twins. This guy has looked really good this season. His fastball topping out around 97, 98. The slider he's thrown is filthy. One thing I like about Prelip's matchup today, the best bats in this Red Sox lineup are all lefties. Prelip has very good numbers versus left-handed bats. I can see him going about 6 innings, pitching, giving up a run or 2 in this one, turning it over to a Twins bullpen. Continues to be terrible overall on the season. I'm expecting them to give up a run in this one. This Red Sox offense overall is still towards the bottom in the majors. It's not like a scary offense where I'm nervous for Prelip in this terrible Twins pitching rotation. I can see the Twins having a decent time here against the Red Sox. On the other side, we're going to have Tolley on the mound. He's also looked solid this year. Granted, he's had some bad games as well mixed in between, but he's looked solid overall. The big knock on him, he's a one-pitch pitcher. He throws the fastball primarily over 50% of the time, trying to mix in that sinker. The sinker sometimes does not move at all. It's getting hit up hard. The hard hit rate on that sinker is very high. Looking at the matchup here today for Tolley, he's going to be seeing the Minnesota Twins. They absolutely crush left-handed pitching, especially comparing it to the numbers versus righties, but this is a team that can hit left-handed pitching. Tolley, one-pitch pitcher, that fastball, there's a bunch of guys in this lineup here today that match up well against them. Looking at the weather here, it's going to be more on the pitcher-friendly side in my opinion. It's going to be about mid-50 degrees. We are going to have a strong gust of wind though, blowing from the diamond to the outfield, which would be able to make it a bit more high-scoring of a game. Let's get to the picks. The Red Sox are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I like the road dogs in this spot. Give me the Minnesota Twins on the money line. The game total set at 7.5. I like the over 7.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Byron Buxton of the Twins to hit a home run today. Alright, up next we got the Washington Nationals in Atlanta taking on the Braves. We got Miles Michaelis on the mound for the Nats. We got Bryce Elder on the mound for the Braves. Alright, getting into this one here, Miles Michaelis is going to be the primary pitcher. Lovelady is going to open up the game. The left-handed pitcher, Lovelady, will open up the game for the Nats. Michaelis has terrible splits versus left-handed batters. Half of this Atlanta Braves lineup is lefties. Not to mention there's some good left-handed bats in this lineup. I could see Lovelady going one time through the order, scoreless, turning it over to Michaelis, who will pitch 5 innings like he does in all his starts. Max 5 innings. He might go 4 in this one because the Braves are starting to hit the ball well again. I can see Michaelis going about 4 or 5 innings, giving up 3 to 4 runs. The Nationals bullpen after that series with the Mets is completely taxed. I see the arms available for the Nats coming in, giving up a bunch of more runs as well. On the other side, we got Bryce Elder. ERA at 2 has looked amazing this season. Hard hit rates at 30%, which is very good. I can see him coming out here today against this Nationals lineup. Offensively, they're very inconsistent. I can see him having a good game, going about 6 innings, giving up a run, turning it over to the Braves bullpen. Still one of the best in the majors. Looking at the weather here today, pitcher friendly. We're going to have 55 to 60 degrees throughout. We're going to have a strong gust of wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Atlanta Braves are the betting odd favorites in this game, and I'm playing them on the run line. The game total set at 9. I like the over 9 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Matt Olson of the Braves to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Dodgers in Milwaukee taking on the Brewers. We got Warblowski on the mound for the Dodgers. We got Henderson on the mound for the Brewers. Alright, we got the left-handed pitcher Warblowski on the mound for the Dodgers. Often dominant start this season. He's made over 9 starts, ERA's at 250. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he's going to be seeing a Milwaukee Brewers lineup that's middle of the pack versus left-handed pitching. Granted, they were missing Vaughn and Churiel, 2 of their better right-handed bats, 2 guys that really hit left-handed pitching very well. They were missing for a while, so the numbers are a bit lower than they should be. I can see Warblowski coming out here today struggling against this Milwaukee lineup. For one, the last few left-handed pitchers this team has seen, they've gotten to them. In their last 8 games played, the Milwaukee Brewers are batting .269 as a team, slugging .411. I can see Milwaukee coming out here today. Another home game for them. They play very good in their home games. I see them getting a few runs off of Warblowski. The Dodgers bullpen's completely rested coming into it. I see them coming in, taking over for him, being able to shut down Milwaukee's bats. The Dodgers bullpen still one of the best in the majors. On the other side, we got Henderson on the mound. He's made 5 starts this year, 350 ERA. He's struggling with his command. That is a bit worrisome. He's going to see 6 left-handed bats in this Dodgers lineup. Another thing to worry about for him. I see him going about 4 or 5 innings, giving up 3 runs in this game, turning it over to a Milwaukee bullpen that has also been playing very well of late. They're one of the big factors to this Milwaukee's team win streak of winning lately, I should say. I do like the Milwaukee bullpen to come in and stop this Dodgers lineup here today. It's out in Milwaukee in the dome, so no weather to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The Dodgers are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing the home dogs in this spot. Give me the Milwaukee Brewers on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I like the under 8.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Vaughn of the Brewers for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Seattle Mariners in Kansas City taking on the Royals. Logan Gilbert on the mound for the Mariners. We got the left-handed pitcher Noah Cameron on the mound for the Royals. Alright, getting into this one here. This turned out to be one of my least favorite games on the schedule. For one, it was a difficult game to call. We have 2 offenses right now that are definitely cooling off. We're going to be seeing the Kansas City Royals back at home. They hit the ball much better at home. Logan Gilbert this season is not in the same form as he was last year. 4.45 ERA, giving up 2 or more runs in all his starts, struggling with his command, walking much more batters than he did this time last season. I can see Logan Gilbert coming out here today. Like I said, this Kansas City Royals lineup is going to have a bunch of left-handed bats in it. They hit better at home. I can see Gilbert coming out here today struggling against this team. On the other side, we got the left-handed pitcher Noah Cameron. Noah Cameron has looked terrible this season. The left-handed pitcher is struggling with his command. Hard hit rates at 51%. He's going to be seeing a Seattle Mariners lineup that's middle of the pack versus left-handed pitching, towards the bottom of the league. I can see Cameron having one of his better starts of the year here today. As long as he could pitch around Julio Rodriguez, I can see him having a good outing, going about 5-6 innings, giving up a run. When we get to the late portion of this game, I'm gonna give the advantage to the Seattle Mariners. The Royals bullpen, one of the worst in the majors. The Mariners bullpen, one of the best. The bullpens, are both of them are rested coming into it, so I give the advantage to the Mariners late. Looking at the weather here today, it's going to be pitcher-friendly weather out there in Kauffman Stadium. We're going to have a strong gust of wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Seattle Mariners are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like the home dogs in this spot. Give me the Kansas City Royals on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I like the over 8.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Garcia of the Royals for 2 total bases today. Up next, we got the Texas Rangers in Los Angeles taking on the Angels. We got DeGrom on the mound for the Rangers. We got Rodriguez on the mound for the Angels. Alright, we got DeGrom back on the mound for the Rangers off to a very good start this year. He's only had 2 bad starts in my opinion overall this season. One against the Yankees, then his last start last week against the Astros. Pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs. Today he's going to be seeing an Angels lineup that's only batting .220 versus right-handed pitching. This team struggled in yesterday's game to get to Luis Severino. I can see DeGrom, who's in a much higher caliber of a pitcher than Severino, coming out here today, going about 6 innings, 7 possible 1-run baseball, turning it over to a Texas Rangers bullpen. Still the best bullpen in the majors. I see them coming in, shutting the door on this Angels lineup. On the other side, we got the right-handed pitcher Rodriguez making his 2nd start of the season. His first start last week against the Dodgers, pitched 3 innings, gave up 7 runs. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he's going to be seeing a Texas Rangers lineup that hits right-handed pitching very well this season. They're batting .237. Their last few right-handed pitching they've seen, they've won those games. I could see this Rangers lineup coming out here today against Rodriguez, getting 3 runs off of him, turning it over to an Angels bullpen. That game yesterday went in overtime. The bullpen's completely taxed. Still one of the worst bullpens in the majors. Looking at the weather here today out in Los Angeles, it's going to be hitter friendly. We're going to have wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Rangers are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the run line. The game total set at 7.5. I like the over 7.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Jake Burger of the Rangers to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Athletics in San Diego taking on the Padres. The left-handed pitcher Jeffrey Springs on the mound for the Athletics. We got Walker Buehler on the mound for the Padres. Alright, getting into this one. This was a very intriguing matchup too. In my opinion, this matched up very evenly. We got Jeffrey Springs on the mound. Started off the season looking very strong. His last 3 outings, he's started to struggle a bit, giving up 3 or more runs in his last 3 games played. On the other side, we got Walker Buehler. Started off the season getting lit up. His last 3 starts, he's gotten into good form, giving up 3 or less runs in his last 3 games. We're going to be seeing Jeffrey Springs, the left-handed pitcher for the Athletics, going up against a Padres lineup that struggles versus left-handed pitching. On the other side, we got Walker Buehler. The right-handed pitcher is going to be seeing an Athletics lineup that is crushing right-handed pitching this season. Early half of the game, I give the advantage to the Athletics. When it comes to the bullpens, it's going to be a clear disadvantage for the Athletics. They have one of the worst bullpens in the majors. Padres bullpen is still one of the best. Like I said, it's a very intriguing matchup here. I give the advantage to the Athletics offensively. Looking at the weather out there in San Diego today, it's going to be pitcher-friendly weather. We're going to have a strong gust of wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Padres are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I like the Road Dogs in this spot. Give me the Athletics on the money line. The game total set at 8. I like the over 8 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Brent Rooker of the Athletics for 2 total bases. Next up, we got the Rockies in Arizona taking on the Diamondbacks. Shagano on the mound for the Rockies. Soroka on the mound for the D-backs. Alright, getting into this one, we got Shagano back on the road. This season, he's made 6 road starts. ERA's at 3.35. Yesterday's game, this Diamondbacks team, they were supposed to light up that relief pitcher Agnes. It was a bullpen day for the Rockies. They didn't get to him. He was able to go much deeper in the game than originally intended, which helped this Rockies bullpen out tremendously. The Rockies bullpen's in a much better place than they were yesterday. I could see Shagano coming out here today, going about 6 innings, giving up a run. He is a low velocity pitcher, pitches for a lot of ground outs. I could see him there is the possibility that he leaves that changeup in that fastball up high, and that's been his problem this year. When he gets lit up, he's throwing the pitches high. He got to keep his pitches down and low. When he does that, he's very successful. I could see him having a good outing here today, going about 5-6 innings, giving up a run, turning it over to a Rockies bullpen that I'm still expecting to give up a run or 2, but not get lit up overall. On the other side, we got Michael Soroka off to an amazing start this season. He's only had 3 bad starts in the 10 he's made this year. Looking at the matchup for him here, for one, it's a home game for him in Arizona this season in that dome. He's been pitching very well. I could see Soroka coming out here today, going about 6-7 innings, giving up 2 runs, turning it over to a Diamondbacks bullpen that is continuing to be extremely mediocre. They're not a bullpen I trust overall, for the simple fact I don't know what I'm getting out of them. It's out in Arizona, in the dome, so no weather to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The Arizona Diamondbacks are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and we're playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I like the over 8.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks to hit a home run today. Final game of the day, we got the White Sox in San Francisco taking on the Giants. Davis Martin on the mound for the White Sox, McDonald on the mound for the Giants. Davis Martin on the mound for the White Sox, off to an amazing start this season. 9 starts, 1.60 ERA. He's going to be out in San Francisco in a pitcher-friendly ballpark, seeing an offense in the Giants that is struggling offensively right now. We saw in that Diamondback series, they really cooled back off. I could see Davis Martin having a good game here today, going about 7 innings, giving up a run, turning it over to a White Sox bullpen that's rested coming into this game. They've been playing very well in their last 10 games played. They have a 4.15 bullpen ERA. I'd see them coming in, shutting the door on this Giants lineup. On the other side, we got McDonald on the mound for the Giants. 3 starts this year, ERA below 230. Fastball looks very impressive. That's the thing I liked about him, is that fastball. Today, he's going to be seeing a White Sox lineup that is a good fastball hitting lineup. It's going to be out in San Francisco. There's going to be more on the pitcher-friendly side, so I don't see him getting lit up, but I do see the White Sox still being able to get 2 to 3 runs off of McDonald here today, turning it over to the Giants bullpen, who continue to play very well of late, especially in their home games this season. I see them coming in, shutting the door on that White Sox. It's out in San Francisco. It's going to be pitcher-friendly weather out there tonight. Let's get to the picks. All right, looking at this one here, this is a pick'em spot. The odds makers have this game. Pretty much the odds are even. It's a 20 cents difference favoring the White Sox, and that's where I lean as well. I like the Chicago White Sox here on the money line. The game total set at 7.5. I like that over 7.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Montgomery of the White Sox for 2 total bases today. Alrighty guys, before we get up out of here, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. The Diamondbacks did not come through for us on the run line yesterday. They messed up our win streak at 6 games, but we'll be restarting here today. A $10 bet on the Texas Rangers on the run line. We're getting them at plus win 15. This is our ladder play of the day. Alright, up next we have a 3-leg $10 parlay we're playing here today. We started off with Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies. We're then going to play Aaron Judge of the Yankees, and we wrap up the parlay with Matt Olson of the Atlanta Braves, a $10 3-leg parlay. Next up, we have a 3-leg parlay we're playing here today. We started off with the Chicago Cubs on the money line. We're then going to play the Philadelphia Phillies on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the St. Louis Cardinals Cincinnati Reds game total to go over 9.5 total runs. And our final bet of the day will be another 3-leg parlay. We started off with the Guardians Phillies game total to go over 6.5 total runs. We're then going to play the Minnesota Twins on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Milwaukee Brewers on the money line. Once again, guys, before we get up out of here, I just want to send my salutes out to you all. It's Friday. We made it. Let's get this weekend started off right. You guys know I appreciate you all. I respect you all. Hope we all win some money here today, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.